Welcome. My name is Zulu Gama and welcome to Law School Tanzania. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share the videos that you are going to see in this channel. Today, Law School Tanzania brings you a concept concerning the sources of law in Tanzania. Well, sources of law is a philosophical term, or it is a jurisprudential term, where some people, when talking of concept of sources of law, can define the concept of law regarding where the laws are from, and some can define the concept of sources of law regarding where the laws are made. But in our channel today, we are going to tell you concerning where are these sources of law. Okay. Well, in Tanzania, we have several institutions that makes law, and there are several processes that are passing through in coming to effect of those laws. This institution and these laws are what are going to be our concern in this topic. The first institution that makes law is the Constituent Assembly, and the law that comes from the Constituent Assembly is the Constitution. And as we know, Constitution is a major law. It is a mother law of the land. That is, from the Constitution, all other laws comes from. Well, let's see the process of having a constitution, the process of getting a constitution. Well, the process of having a constitution starts from the Act of Parliament. The Parliament makes a law, that law which allows the making of a new constitution or the reviewing of a new constitution, and there must be that law which shall enable a whole process which is going to be passed in order to have a constitution. A good example of this is the Constitutional Review Act, which was the law that was made to facilitate the previous process of enacting the new constitution that is pending in our jurisdiction. Then after having such law which enables the making of a new constitution, then the Constituent Assembly is formed. And to be keen in this area, a Constituent Assembly is a different body from the Parliament. A Constituent Assembly should consist a number of people who are different from the Parliament, but the composition and how the Constituent Assembly is going to be will depend on what the Constitutional Review Act that has said. And that Constituent Assembly is going to come with a draft constitution, and that draft constitution is going for another process. Constituent Assembly is different from the Parliament which makes normal laws. This Constituent Assembly usually composed of different people who are different from the Parliament, or sometimes they may be from the Parliament, only depending on how the Constitutional Review Act has said, depending on the number and members who are going to be available in the Constituent Assembly. Well, after the Constituent Assembly has already finished its work, then a draft constitution is brought from the Constituent Assembly to the people, where people are going to vote for it, whether to be a constitution or not. And that kind of vote is called a referendum, a vote of yes or no for it to be a constitution. Apart from the constitution, the other source of law is the Act of Parliament. The Act of Parliament, as the name suggests, is the law that is from the Parliament. These Acts of Parliament are also known as the principal legislation, the other name, but also are commonly known as statutes, meaning that the laws that comes from the Parliament. Parliament make this law under the mandate that they got from the Constitution. Article 64 of the Constitution of the United Republic of Tanzania gave the Parliament a power to make these kind of laws, which are called Act of Parliament. The process of enacting these Acts of Parliament, or statutes as I said, starts from a passing of a bill. A bill is a proposed document which is going to be a law after being passed by a parliament. A bill can be brought into a parliament by a member of parliament, by a certain ministry, or by even a private person. That bill, when tabled to the parliament, the bill is going to be discussed to see whether if it is suitable for the conditions that is seeking to address, or to see if that bill goes proportional or goes the same to the Constitution and the other laws of the land. Also to see if that bill does not conflict with other laws, if at all it is passed to be a law at other time. After a bill has been discussed by the parliament, then that bill is going to be tabled to the president, whom upon after signing that bill becomes a law, and that law is called a principal legislation or an act of parliament. Another source of law, which are called subsidiary legislations. Subsidiary legislation, this allows that comes from the principal legislation. This refers to all those laws which are not made by the Parliament, but they are made by other bodies given power from the Constitution or given power from the certain principal legislation. And that power is called delegation power. And that delegation should not be delegated also. The delegation power is given under Article 95 of the Constitution of the United Republic Tanzania for other bodies apart from the Parliament to make the laws which are going to be part of the laws of the nation. But also, the same principal legislations which are being passed by the Parliament may give an authority for other body to enact law so as to assist that main law, also is to cover or address another important aspect which has not been touched or has been left intact to be addressed by that principal legislation. These subsidiary legislations may be made by the ministers, may be made by the ministries, may be made by the local authorities, local governments, which may be an urban government or can be district or other local authorities. But also they may be made by the president through special declarations. The laws which are made by ministers and or certain ministry come from a certain act. For example, an act may give authority for the minister to make a certain law addressing a certain matter. And we've seen a number of such examples from the environmental laws, where a minister has been given power to legislate some small things or some other issues so as to address the status on environmental laws. Also, a president may make laws through what are called presidential decrees or presidential orders from the existing laws or even from his own perspective as the head of state. After this, let's go to another category or another source of law. But before I'm going there, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment or share this video and other likely video in our channel Law School Tanzania.